figured out one really important lesson. And this was the more I gave, the more I received. And every single time I'll give to a charity, I'd help somebody out for free or do one little good thing in the day, my business got another deal. I made more money than ever in this month, and things just started growing from there. And really, Tony Robbins talks about this a lot, but the more you give, the more you'll receive. And I really figured out my purpose here is helping people get out of their situations. 2022 was one of the most impactful and amazing years of my life. There's been a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of crazy things, and what I can tell you is 2022, as of this recording, now I am at the end of December right now recording this video, but looking back at it, I can tell you this was probably one of the most defining years of my life. Not just financially, but mentally, spiritually, the way I look at life and the way I look at myself and truly finding my true purpose in life. This has been the craziest year of my life, and what I want to do in this video is break down my year, 7 lessons I learned, and exactly the things that I took from this year that I believe will help you become a better person. Now, from the beginning of 2022 to the end, so much has happened. And really, if you want to look at me from the beginning of 2022 to the end of 2022, I sort of look at it like a picture of Obama going into office and leaving office. I'm looking all bright, sunny-haired kid to completely like, whoa, a lot just happened. And if you ever talk to older people, they will always say the older you get, the years just go by so much faster. I mean, think about it. A year going by when you're 10 years old seems like forever because that's 10% of your life. And 10% of your life at 100 years old is like a decade. So truly, the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing how important things are in life and figuring out everything. I built amazing relationships. I made more money than I could ever even imagine. And I've gone through some struggles just figuring out this thing called life. Let me break down some of the things that I found out. Now, guys, this is not a real estate investing. This is not a money video, an entrepreneurship type video. Heck, this is probably a video just for myself to reflect on the year. And probably not many people can relate to a lot of this. But what I want to do is give you the life lessons I did learn that I feel like you can get some benefit from. Or most importantly, look back at me of 2022. Now, I am recording this at the end of December, so it's officially not over, but by the time this comes out, it'll be the beginning of 2023. So let's talk about this. I truly, number one, figured out my purpose in life this year. And this was probably one of the biggest journeys I've had. The sickness or the panoramic, I really can't say the year, but you know 2020. A lot of that stuff and a lot of the travel restrictions went over, and I started traveling the world a lot more. I started getting out of where I was growing up and a lot of the areas I was in Florida. I started traveling around and helping more and more people every single month learn real estate, wholesaling, just getting financial freedom, and I really figured out what my purpose was in life. Now, I do believe people do have given abilities to themselves that gives them a purpose in life, and without a purpose in life, it's very hard to keep going. And sometimes if you don't think you have a purpose or if you don't have a purpose, you need to create one. And I really figured out my purpose here is helping people get out of their situations. Now, I used to do a lot of charity work, soup kitchens, animal shelters, toy drives, and really a lot of that stuff included me trading my time for helping people, and that was extremely fulfilling. But as somebody that has been making millions and millions of dollars in my real estate wholesaling business, I figured out trading my time isn't the best return on the help of the people out. It really comes down to giving money. I've given more to charity than I've ever had in my entire 21 years in the past, all in one year. I figured out one really important lesson, and this was the more I gave, the more I received. And every single time I'll give to a charity or I'd help somebody out for free or just do one little good thing in the day, my business got another deal. I made more money than ever in this month, and things just started growing from there. And really, Tony Robbins talks about this a lot, but the more you give, the more you'll receive. And when I look at my purpose in life, I figured out pretty quick that my purpose here is to give, right? And not just money or time, but the tools it takes for people to become successful. And this is when, you know, in 2020, 2019, 2021, 2022, I've been giving free real estate education out to people, but I really went hard and all in on the paint on giving all the information I have in my brain absolutely for free. Now, I give up millions of dollars every single year in coaching fees and revenues and all this stuff just to teach real estate investing and wholesaling absolutely for free. And it's a little selfish, right? I don't want to spend 40 hours a week on a Zoom, and I just like wholesaling houses myself. But ultimately, having all these single moms and single dads and 18-year-olds and people from Africa, Europe, Asia, make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just learning from me and actually providing and helping themselves. Heck, I remember talking to a guy working at a glass factory start of the year. And by the end of the year, he made over $100,000 and he was able to spend time with his kids that he could have never had. He got his weekends back, his family back, and his marriage back. All from learning real estate for free because he couldn't afford to get into wholesaling real estate by paying a coach or mentor thousands of dollars. And just learning that my following really went from maybe 5,000 followers to over 250,000 through my social media platforms this year has really shown the more information, the more I've given, the more I've received. And all these people learning for free just keep sending me deals and I'm making more money than ever. And really I found my purpose in life. Giving people the tools for success absolutely for free. And this is one big purpose I believe that's gonna take me probably the rest of my life to teach. But if I can use a tool that made me millions of dollars and give it to the people for free, that's gonna help change the world. And not just the entire world, right? But the people's world. Like I looked at that example of that father that's able to give back to his family. To those kids, their dad is their world. And really to that person, I changed their entire world by helping their dad out make a bunch of money. And really that's the way I'm looking at it. So I'm gonna go harder in the paint next year and from this year too, helping the people out for free. The next lesson I learned, and let's kind of get into business really quick, I really simplified my processes in all my businesses this year. And I really figured out when I simplified things, when I really went back and looked at where my revenue's coming from, my best marketing, my best lead generation, my best ways to find cash buyers, I ultimately found, hey, the stuff that is working, let's double those and stop the stuff that's not working. And that, believe it or not, doubled my business basically overnight. And really when I look back and look at my business from a really macro point of view, and I look at it from just a far back perspective, I was like, dang, the more I simplify this business, the more money I make. And honestly, that's a big lesson I think you guys can learn from. And number 3, this is a huge one, but really what I did this year that I haven't been doing the years past is creating time freedom and location freedom. I really went from pumping the gas off, working 30, 40 hours a week in my wholesaling operation to really pushing it back to 5 hours a week, even to 7 hours a week, because I knew for my business to succeed, if I was to unfortunately pass away this year, or God forbid next year, if I'm gone, this business can make money for my family and for the people I love around me. And really this was a huge, massive turn in my life when I started to think about that. And I knew I had to start scaling things out, making sure my time wasn't spent working in the business all day and having people actually go in there and do the systems and work for me. And doing that, it didn't make me any more money, but it didn't make me lose money. So if I was able to make the same amount of money working 5 hours a week, going from 40 hours a week, that was a huge win for me. And that also created me location freedom. And that's one not a lot of people talk about, but location freedom is the freedom of location. I can be in Stockholm, Sweden tomorrow and make the same amount of money. I can move to South Africa and make a ton of money. Heck, I can move across the world, and as long as I have an internet connection, my money and the passive income I make doesn't get affected at all. And this was a huge shift for me in my wholesaling real estate operations, that once I was able to do this, the lesson of creating time and location freedom helped me grow as a person and really mature. And no, I still have a ton of fun, and really looking at life in general, I've never been really serious about it because at any given moment, we could be gone. So why are we taking this thing so seriously? I mean, heck, we're pieces of meat flying around on a rock, going hundreds and thousands of miles an hour, rotating around a huge nuclear reactor sun. This thing called life is so crazy already that why are we gonna take ourselves too seriously? I never have, and I probably never will. I take business seriously, I love this stuff, but really you gotta have fun in life. Number 4, this is a huge one and especially a really important one, but this is actions equal results. And this has been my mantra this year and my mantra for so many people trying to learn real estate and especially wholesaling real estate investing and any business in general. But if you wanna get results, hey, you wanna do deals, you wanna make money, you wanna get the whip, the Lambo, the girls, anything cool boat, if that is the result you want, what is the action you have to take to go out here and get said action? Heck, let's say you wanna go get a cool car. What do you have to do to get a car? Oh, I gotta make $100,000 this month. Roger that. What do you have to do to get $100,000 per month? Oh, I gotta market this, I gotta pull this list, I gotta talk to sellers. Go do it. This works in anything in life. If you ask for something, you will receive. And if you ask to get a car, do what it takes to get that car and you'll receive that result. Action equals results. Number 5, this is a big lesson I've had in my life that I do want to share. I've pushed past the point of money being a concern or money being on my mind. And 6 years ago, when I was completely broke starting out in this little entrepreneurship journey, money was an issue. I always thought about how I was gonna pay for things, and my happiness was very correlated to the amount of money I had in my bank account. And there's a bunch of statistics out there, but really for most statisticians and psychologists, once you start making over $100,000, and really for most people it's $70,000, your level of happiness doesn't go up anymore. Usually for most people, if they make an extra $10,000 this month, they usually spend $8,000 more of that. And really your happiness doesn't change, your spending just goes up in proportion, and you're riding a thin line, because if your expenses somewhat outweigh your income, then you're in debt, and that's not good. But on the other hand here, if you take that extra income and put it in passive income, rental properties, stocks, whatever you want, it's just gonna make you more passive income. And once you're at the point where you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single month from your passive income, is an extra $100,000 a month on top of your $250,000 a month in passive income gonna make you any happier? I equate it to a Big Mac. Maybe if I'm really hungry and eat a Big Mac, it's gonna feel good. I'm gonna feel really happy about it, it's gonna do good. I might have a second Big Mac, right? Okay, that's pretty good too. Once the third Big Mac comes by, it's like, well, this is nice, but it's not as enjoyable as the first or second, and that's the way income works. The first 100K, the second 100K a month, the third 100K a month, it's not as enjoyable anymore. And really, once you start getting the income level where I'm at currently, what am I gonna buy? Assets are the only thing I think I can really buy, because should I go buy another house with an extra bedroom? Like, what am I gonna do with that extra bedroom? Really, the biggest things you can buy once you start making a ton of money is jets and boats, and I don't really feel like I have a need for those things. If you live with humility, your life's gonna get a lot easier. And really appreciate what you have, because the amount of money I make now doesn't really mean much to me. Because at the end, it really doesn't matter. And I know that sounds so crazy from someone that maybe needs money right now. It definitely is oxygen, but some people, you need oxygen to breathe. And when you have a lack of oxygen, it's very clear that you need to breathe. But once you're somewhere where there's a ton of oxygen, does extra oxygen make you even better or make you feel better? Not really, but maybe you can give some of that extra oxygen to people that really need it. And that's sort of the point I'm at right now in my life, and still trying to figure out. And number 6 here, this is a huge one I've been thinking about lately, and especially for people watching this, and especially for me, and this is a huge question, right? I'm not getting in a religious debate or anything like this about God or anything like that, but what I do want to ask you a question about God or gods, but what are your gods? And what do I mean by that, right? I'm not trying to be sacrilegious or anything here, but really, you got to figure out what is your gods and what is a god, quote unquote. This is a metaphor for a lot of things. A god or gods are something that controls every aspect of your life. They might have subconscious control. They might have control when you don't think so, or when you do think so. But really what I mean by what are your gods is, what is controlling your life right now? Do you have to wake up every single day and drink your cup of coffee? Do you have to wake up and do your skincare routine to be right for the day? Do you have to get your third cup of coffee for the day? Do you have to watch this TV show or do this? Figure out what's controlling in your life. Are you spending too much time on social media? Are you not spending enough time doing your business? You really have to make a check in your life that what is really controlling you? Why don't I want to start marketing more of my business? Well, I want to spend time with my family. And family is the most important thing in life. I totally understand that. But you got to understand, okay, what's limiting my life right now is I want to spend 50 hours a week with my kids. As long as you understand what's controlling you and what's important, you can really make an understanding of what I value most in life and what I don't. And once you start valuing making more money and changing my family's life over scrolling on TikTok for an hour or social media, this is when you can start allocating your time for things that are actually going to help you and change your life. I found in my life personally, I've cut my social media use down by probably 75%. Outside of me posting and ghosting, quote unquote, I don't really care too much about comments. I used to look at comments all the time. I used to just scroll through Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok frequently. And really what I've done is condense the news for 15 minutes of me figuring out what's going on in the news, maybe an hour or two a week on the economy and what's going on there, because not much changes in a very short amount of time, and really stop the things that aren't important to me and really getting the negativity out of my life. And as human beings, we feed off of negativity and drama and all these crazy things. And once I figured out what my gods were and what was really controlling me, I knew how to embrace it. One quick example, if I don't work out in the day, if I don't get like a 45-minute workout in, at least 4 or 5 days a week, I kind of feel off. And that's not good, because I stopped working out, I'd feel a little weird for a while. It's gonna affect my performance at work and doing other things. Once you can figure stuff like that out, it gives you more options and control in your own life. And last but not least, and this is probably something that I've really looked into this year and really started thinking about on a daily basis. And this has really helped me increase my gratitude and wanting to help people out and charitable things and really feeling blessed every single moment I wake up in the morning. And this is memento mori. And memento mori is a Latin term for remember you will die, or Latin for like remember you will have to die. And really what this means is have on your mind that one day you will be gone. A lot of Greek philosophers actually had skulls on their night desks to remind them that one day it's going to be all over. Heck, you look over here, I got one skull right here on my desktop here, and then we got another one right here. And this is like a cool little pirate I painted when I was like 7 years old, but I keep these things around me in the studio. And not because I'm a crazy person that thinks about death all the time, but I think I want to be like the Stoics or these Greek philosophers, and that's what they did. And because of that, it helped change their mindset of what's truly important in life. Me thinking 6 years ago when I was a bag boy at my local grocery store. If I know I'm gonna die one day, is truly what's most important to me bagging groceries all day for 70, 80 hours a week, or trying to get rich and living the life that I deserve? Heck, nobody's really gonna care when I pass. And I don't wanna give you any spoiler alerts that's gonna be sad, but if I pass away tomorrow, people are gonna be very sad. There's gonna be a lot of people on social media saying all these great things about me, and a lot of awesome, great things. But between you and me, in 5 years, which is a blink of existence for so many people, 5 years is nothing. Not a lot of people are going to remember me, and that's particularly not a bad thing. Do you remember your great grandfather? That person probably had to deal with a lot of stuff, fight off warlords to make sure you're alive right now, but you don't even know their name. And really past your great grandfather, you probably don't even know who they were or who they looked like. For most people, your great grandfather or your great grandmother is probably the farthest back you can go, and great is pushing it. Especially for me, I actually knew my great grandfather. I've actually known so much about him, and I was luckily able to live for a while he was here. But just remember, outside of someone that old, really anything 300 years in the past, you're not gonna remember it, and no one's really gonna remember you. Unless you're a Ben Franklin, an Alexander the Great, a king, queen, or general, you're really not gonna be remembered. Heck, we can only remember probably 10 or 15 pharaohs most people can even know about. So thinking of the factor of memento mori, do things in life that matter to you. So many people come up to me and say, Zach, I'm just having a bad day, or today's not a good day. And I always ask everybody this question. And this is always the question I ask myself when I wake up in the morning. Am I healthy? Are my parents healthy? Is my family healthy? Is everybody I know in my life right now good and well and healthy right now? And are they alive? Do I have air in my lungs right now? Am I good? Well, today's a great day, because one day I'm probably not gonna be like this. I'm gonna be 95 years old, all my aches and pains are hurting me, and I would have given all of my hundreds of millions or hopefully billions of dollars away just to be the point at 23-year-old version of Zach, having his youth, his energy, and his ability to do anything he wants in life. Because at 95, you really can't be at that. Or heck, you also think, because you're alive right now, breathing and okay, somebody around the world or somebody probably the same demographic as you wasn't so lucky. So if your family's okay, you're healthy, today's an amazing day. Grasp it. We only have such a finite amount of time on earth. And that's something that I really realized this year and really helped me grow as a person and really figure out not to take this life thing seriously, have a great time, help other people, and hopefully make the world a better place. I'm not going to be remembered too much probably in 1,000 years, but if I could do something that helped the people out, live a better life, it's a life well lived. And that's really the lessons I've learned in 2022. I know hopefully I'm going to have so much more growth in 2023 and help even more people out, right? And really, even if I fail at something or it doesn't work, I mean, I can always go back and start over again. That's the point of what I do. That's the point of what I want to leave to you. So guys, if you got any value from this video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. I want to know really in the comments, and I don't really look at comments too much or DMs, I get thousands a day, but I want to look back at this video and really see the life lessons that you learned this year, and something, if anyone can see it, maybe help them live a better life. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. Also let me know if you like some of these, how do I call them, more like personal videos, right? Of just me talking about life in general and my thoughts on things, or hey Zach, stick to the real estate stuff. Let me know. This is my personal channel, so when I do something, and this is gonna be kind of fun for me to look back for in the future. So appreciate it. This is Zach signing out. Have a blessed one.